Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. My name is Jana Leigh. Today I'm going to review the book called Touch by Elisha Bugg. The main character is a paranormal romance book, first of all, and I love paranormal romance. I love paranormal and I love sci-fi, I love fantasy, really love fantasy. I'm on this fantasy kick lately. But anyway, back to the story. Um, The main character in the story, her name is Rosalind or Rose. She's a nursing student doing clinicals in an ER. She works under Dr. Oliver, who right at the beginning makes a pass at her. And I found that kind of gross because he's her immediate supervisor and she has shown no interest in this guy. She thinks that he's attractive, but she has no romantic feelings. And it's kind of gross because he's her supervisor and he holds her future in her hands and he's going to make a pass at her. And I found that kind of gross. But he's kind of a decent guy. He just can't take hints that she doesn't like him. Anyway, um, so she's working at the ER one night and a patient comes in on a stretcher. His name is Rainer. He's a demon, which Rose recognizes immediately. She has the ability to recognize supernatural beings and see through their glamour. She's been hiding this ability since she was a young girl, and her aunt and uncle had her institutionalized. Her family and friends thought she was just crazy. But a little bit of background on Rose. Her parents passed away. They were in a car accident. Rose was in the car, and she was the only survivor. And her aunt and uncle took over care for her, which we later find out it was for greed. They wanted to spend the money that was left for Rose. And once she started, they weren't very nice to her. And then once she started seeing these demons and vampires or whatever and talking about them, they thought she was just crazy. So they threw her in an institution. So, but anyway, meanwhile, Rainer comes in on a stretcher. He's screaming and with stab wounds, and doctors and nurses try to hold him down on the stretcher, but his skin burns when touched, which they didn't recognize until Rose pointed this out and they stopped touching him. And he kind of falls into this unconsciousness. But later, Rainer's brother Nico comes to rescue him from the hospital and erase everybody's memory of what happened. And so, but the next day, Rainer returns to the hospital because he finds himself very attracted to Rose in a way that he can't explain. Um, he was there hunting. He was around the hospital hunting the soulless ones, um, which were lurking around the hospital at the time, and which the soulless ones are mindless creatures that the warriors, such as Rainer and his brothers, they're tasked by the council to kill these soulless ones. And the soulless they're finding out that the soulless have adapted and evolved. They now know how to use weapons and have some higher cognitive abilities such as speaking and thinking and all that stuff, which usually they don't have that ability. So they're kind of trying to find out what's going on. They reported this to the council, and the council told him and his brothers kind of figure out what's going on. So anyway, Rainer also learned that Rose can see supernatural beings without their glamour and can shield against mental tampering like erasing memories. So of course, she remembers everything that happened the night before. And she's also psychic, which we later find out. But the soulless ones, they keep trying to kidnap Rose, and the demons, such as Rainer, they want to find out why. I think it's because Rose had these abilities that no other human has. And Rose and Rainer's attraction grows. It grows quite quickly. Um, Towards the end of the book, you find out a little more about Rose. Plus, there's a nice twist in the book. I don't want to give too much away, but I will leave it there. Overall, out of 5 stars, I'll give this book a 3.5. There were some typos in the book, but it wasn't so distracting that I couldn't finish reading the book. Um, the writing was done well. I really like Rose as a main character. She wasn't annoying or whiny or pitiful like some female characters are in books. Like she definitely has some character growth in this book, which I like. And I love Rose as a character. I want to know more about her. Um, the love story between Rose and Rainer could have been written a little bit better. The mate bond drew them together, but other than that, I'm trying to figure out what makes them a match. But I guess we'll find out in the next book. But then again, it was so action packed that there wasn't any time to really show their personality or how well they meshed together. And I get that. I get that. Um, but I found myself more interested in Rose's backstory than the love story. Um, and I am interested to know what happens next. I want to know how Rose is going to handle, you know, oh, I don't want to give it away, but I want to know how Rose is going to handle her new situation. So I'll just leave it right there. But overall, it was a pretty good book. I really liked it, and I want to read the next book. And I would love to know and see more of Rainer and Rose, how they grow closer together and see more of their personality. I want to see more of Rainer's personality. We don't get much of his personality. It's just mostly Rose, but I like to know more about him as well. But yeah, I'll just leave it there. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. And I hope you like this video. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm gonna review Court of Silver Flames, which I told you I wasn't gonna review, but I'm gonna do it. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.